Hi, this is Scott Orr, and I'm the host of the podcast Other Record Labels. Today I want to talk about choosing a format, a physical media format or digital media format for your label. Not necessarily for the whole of your label, but maybe just for each release, or maybe for the whole. This tip is part of an ongoing series where I talk about 31 different helpful tips, hopefully helpful tips, for starting a record label or improving the record label that you have right now. You can get a checklist that I put together with all of these tips at otherrecordlabels.com/checklist. One of the things you want to consider when choosing your format is, first of all, digital. So you have to talk about digital service providers like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, etc. And then the other side of digital is Bandcamp. Bandcamp is essentially a free service where you can upload music. And I know a lot of labels who are focused just on Bandcamp or primarily on Bandcamp. In fact, there's quite a few really great labels who don't do the other side of digital. They don't do streaming platforms for, maybe some reasons that they don't like the business model of streaming, or maybe because the barrier for entry is a little more costly to get into streaming, whereas it's essentially free to get on. It is free to get a record up on Bandcamp. We also want to talk about physical. That physical media is something that's still really important to fans. The tangible nature of records or cassettes or even CDs is really important to a lot of fans. And in the indie label world, vinyl and tapes do really well, and CDs for some labels as well. So that's something you really want to talk about with the artists. And planning ahead right from the beginning is consider what format that you want your label to be known for. And I think this is something that you can think about on a macro level and not just for your specific releases for specific artists on your label, but you might want to take a step back as you're forming this label and say, do I want to be a cassette only label? And we've done interviews and we have lots of fans who are listeners who are cassette only labels. And that's something that I actually dreamed about doing one time, but then I realized that my audience wasn't really into cassettes as much as I might be. And so that's something right from the beginning, is to think, do we want to be only a digital platform? There's a couple labels that are only on Bandcamp, and I think that's phenomenal. And there's nothing wrong with being a digital only label. There's a couple labels who only do CDs. I can think of one label right now. They only do CDs. They sell, I think they give the digital for free on Bandcamp, but they're primarily CDs. And then of course there's vinyl only labels and 7-inch only labels. That can really help you stand out. But I think it's important to kind of set from the beginning, what are some of the formats that I want my label to be known for? And what are the formats that I can guarantee to my artists? These is all part of starting a record label and thinking about all of these things right from the beginning so that you don't have to make decisions on the fly. All of these tips are put together in a checklist. You can download it at otherrecordlabels.com/checklist. Thanks for watching.